Delivering on the climate goal has become a question of getting a license to operate for all industries, including oil and gas. Our program director, Ingvild Mæland, interviewed Mr. Torbjørn Fors, EVP Industrial Applications in Siemens Energy. They discussed different actions on how to make the business greener. Check out their talk. Torbjørn Fors, you're the Executive Vice President of Industrial Application in Siemens Energy. Welcome to ONS Digital. It's a great pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Today we're going to talk about how we can make the energy system greener and how we can use digital technology to be the tool that we use. But first, I want to start by commenting on Siemens Energy. You recently restructured the company. Could you explain a little bit about it and what you want to achieve?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you very much for hosting me, and a very exciting time both in our company and in the market, of course. As you rightly were alluding to, Siemens decided already a year ago, or more than a year ago now, to spin off the energy assets of Siemens into a separate company. So what we have done over the last year is that we have then carved out all energy activities out of Siemens into a separate company and established that company and formed it as of 1st of April. That was the carve-out process, and that covered many countries and many disciplines and functions and operations across the world. Now we're preparing ourselves for the listing process, and actually the big day is on 28th of September, where we're going to take this company to the stock market, and Siemens still being a strong anchor shareholder in the company with about a third ownership of the company. We are excited, and the rationale behind this and the driver behind it is very much related to ensuring that we are focused on what matters, that we can serve our customers, that we are ensuring that we have a fit-for-purpose operation. And as you know, Siemens is a very broad organization with many different operations in healthcare, in mobility, in digital and smart industries, and many other aspects. And now we are forming a company that is fully dedicated to that energy chain, a pure energy company. So everything from what we traditionally have referred to as upstream, to midstream, to downstream, to industrial activities, to power generation, and to transmitting the energy with transmission as well. In the new company, we'll also have both renewables in the form of the Siemens shareholder equity in Siemens Gamesa, but also conventional power, and of course serve the oil and gas sector as part of the portfolio as well.
If I understand you correctly, so you're building kind of a pure play energy company. What would you say is kind of the greatest advantages from, for example, your oil and gas activities or oil and gas business into this more, what you call a holistic energy system model?
Well, now we have all the portfolio elements in one organization, so we can really serve our customers. And as you rightly said, many of our customers is also up for a transition and transformation, and we can go hand in hand with them. We have the portfolio, we have the people, and now we can transform ourselves as we transform the industry. So as you can see, I'm very excited about this opportunity, and very focused on our portfolio and serving our customers, but also the transformation that we're all up for.
And speaking about transformation, we all see a very clear global push for lower carbon emissions and activities with less environmental footprint. And if you look at the oil and gas sector, what do you think is the most important thing, that kind of the improvements that you want to add to that sector?
Well, I think there are a few dimensions there. One is, of course, to start off with existing assets, both from a green perspective and decarbonization perspective, but also from a future-proof perspective, and of course assure that no one of us are standing there with stranded assets. So there are many dimensions on both the challenge and opportunity as such. But if we start with existing assets, there are many assets out there that are not today operated at its optimum design point. So I think there are significant opportunities in providing green solutions for existing assets. It can be a offshore or an onshore facility where rotating equipment, for example, are not today, after many years of operation, not running as its optimum design point. And I think there are many good examples of that historically, but also now recently and in the future on how we can improve existing assets. Then I believe we'll see more and more around what we call the EAD story, so electrification, automation, and digitalization. So that's the second focus area for us. So if the first one is existing assets as such and the brownfield activities, then the EAD activities are very important to us. And then, of course, we have the opportunities around new fuels, hydrogen, or renewables coming in more and more into the place. So a very holistic matrix for us to master and challenge and live.
I think you have three very clear points there with the existing operations, the electrification, and then the new fuels and new ways of working. And we'll come back to the hydrogen. But let's stop with the digital solutions. How do you think we can use digital tools and digital solutions to help fight climate change and make processes more efficient?
Well, I think it comes down to people. I mean, so this goes beyond technology, first of all. Technology is important, but to make digital solutions successful, it goes beyond technology. So for me, it's very much about open, collaborative mindset. Seek partnerships, understand that we have some expertise, of course, but by teaming up and partnering with our customers or other stakeholders, we can really build something good out of this. Then, of course, as the environment is rapidly changing, I think an agile approach is very critical. So moving quickly rather than the traditional, milestone activities, that we are really moving on quickly. And that we form expertise. So even if I said that it's beyond technology, but we need the expertise both in technology and in other modeling and launching in order to make it a success.
I've been to meetings where a leader has said, I know I have to digitalize my company, but I'm a bit uncertain where to start. As a leader, what do you think are the most important elements to make a digital journey successful?
As I said, first of all, it's people. Have the right people around you and the right culture and behaviors around you. Don't approach it in a traditional development activity, but a rapidly moving, rapidly developing activity. I think that's very important. So you need to stay engaged. I also believe in providing some structures. So I think there's a difference in providing internal value out of digital. Everybody of us can generate internal value versus providing customer or external value. And I think there are different models that, of course, are leveraging on each other and synergizing. But I think it's important to provide some structure there as well.
And building on the people, but also on going into the technology. I read an article and an interview with you in Upstream, and you explained you have a special fascination for sensor technology and the opportunities that lies therein. Could you explain about how you see that could be a potential disruptive technology?
Well, it's not only about sensors. I mean, it's the whole connectivity chain. And for me, as for many other, data is a gold mine. It's just a gold mine. And it's for us to capture, and it's for us to refine, and it's for us to use and generate impact. For me, it's the entire connectivity chain from a sensor to understand what you're looking for or what you're picking up, and bring that back to a refining process where you refine the data and understand the data and draw the right conclusions, and then generate value out of that. And we have today thousands of assets connected, each asset providing thousands of data points in near real-time activity now. and we can convert that into customer value in a very, very rapid, automated way in order to provide unique customer values in a way that we have never been able to do before. So yes, I'm really truly fascinated about this area, because I think that we see now that we are generating the value that we have talked about for many years, but now we're there. This is now happening now.
I need to follow up with a question there, because you said there's a huge potential. Is it your experience that the users of technology knows about how the big potential really are, and they have the right strategies to get there? Or do you think you as a technology supplier, you see that they could have done more?
Well, there are many different stereotypes here, but yeah, I wouldn't generalize. But I think we can do more as a society. I think we can do more in the market in general. I think the acceptance level is coming there. Acceptance level in form of sharing data. Acceptance level and of course goes along with security and cybersecurity in connecting assets. So that has changed dramatically the last year, and that opened up for new opportunities. So the more connected assets we have, the more we learn, and the more value we are able to create.
So I hear that you see that there are changes in society that makes it more acceptable, and that we are more willing to use it. So I hope that helps to drive the transformation.
Yeah.
Okay, moving over to you mentioned your third point, where about the new opportunity that comes out of hydrogen and batteries. And could you explain to us, how do you see the developments within these fields?
Well, it varies a lot. So of course, when it comes to production of hydrogen, there are different technologies out there. We have the electrolyzers within our company in Siemens Energy, and there are other technologies as well. So I think that's one play. And then of course, if we use traditional terms like midstream and downstream, or transporting hydrogen and then making use of it, I think that's different areas which have its different solutions and opportunities. We play in all. So I mean, we have the electrolyzers, as I said, for production. We have the renewables for the clean energy. We can also use natural gas, of course, for blue hydrogen or other versions of hydrogen. We have the compressors and the drivers, the electrical motors, the turbines for transporting, and then in the end also to refine or to make use of the hydrogen. We have once again compressors, of course, uniquely designed for various applications, but also gas turbines being operated on in-blended hydrogen now. And we, for example, had a great example in Brazil, where we have a gas turbine in commercial operation with the so-called dry low emission combustion system, so no water injection, running at 60% hydrogen.
Interesting. That's really interesting. I mean, building on that, and I want to move you back to the North Sea, because I mean, a lot of our customers and our listeners here today are doing business in the North Sea.
Yeah.
What do you think will be the most important developments that will happen in the North Sea area in an energy transformation context? Oil, gas, renewables, electrification of offshore facilities. What do you think will happen? And what would you like to see happen?
Well, first of all, I would probably say yes to all above. So there's not one single route, one single answer. But I truly believe, coming back to optimization and making sure that existing assets are running at its optimum point, I think we will see more of that. A lot of that have been done in the Norwegian sector. But there is always new opportunities. I mean, there are new and then new challenges for the operators to consider and so on. So, there is much more we can do that in optimizing existing assets. Electrification will definitely have a play in the Norwegian sector. We are working actively with many of the partners and customers in electrifying their facilities or their services. And I believe also we'll see a bit more wind, primary offshore wind in the Norwegian sector as well, coming into play. So it will not be one one suits all or one solution that will fix all, but a mix of it. And I think those three areas will be rather tangible and coming into play very soon.
I hear you explained a North Sea model, where the energy system gets more integrated with the oil and gas, the renewables, the electrification, the transmission lines, and so on. And it seems like that fits perfect for Siemens Energy model, the way you think.
Absolutely, and that's the reason why I'm so excited that we have, the new market, the market that we see evolving around us is very well served by a very strong and expanded portfolio that we have in the new company. So very excited.
We started out by saying that we want to discuss how we can build a cleaner energy system by using digitalization. And you pointed out that we have to look at existing operations, we need to focus on electrification, and we need to look at kind of new opportunities. But I really noticed what you said, the point that it comes down to the people. So I want that to be the closing theme of this conversation, that it comes down to the people and technology doesn't just evolve. Torbjørn Foss, thank you for joining us, and welcome back at ONS at another event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.